Hey everybody, just wanted to post this quick video during this crazy, unprecedented time. I hope everyone is safe and taking the warnings pretty seriously. I think we're all disappointed that so many events are being canceled through the cycling season. We've trained a ton, myself included. I just came off a big 5-week block getting ready for Joe Martin. Had a really good taper coming into it that I was starting today, and it's canceled. So what do? I've seen people on Strava posting things like, I guess we're going back to base, and oh, why train now? There's no point. I bet we're back to racing within 8 weeks. So the two things that I would recommend you do is work on race simulations, because now you can actually see, hey, I'll use myself as an example. Did I nail the training and the taper to go into Joe Martin? So when Joe Martin was supposed to be, I can do race simulations. Go to the blog. I put out some examples how to sim the road race. How would I feel on day 4 at the criterium? How to attack the time trial. If you don't want to do a race sim, or if you don't think you're good at pushing yourself for like a 3-4 hour ride, you can work on test whatever you've been working on, right? Like you've been building most likely through a build phase. Let's say you've been elongating threshold efforts. Go test where you end up after you do this taper. You can also learn from the taper. If it's a event that is, like has long road races, has long threshold efforts, you don't want to taper super long. A week is fine. If you have back-to-back, like a stage race events and crits and higher intensity efforts, you do want to taper longer. So test out your taper. Everybody's a little bit different, and test out, I drove my CTL up to like 125 and I was going to race around 100. See how that works. So there's a lot of things you can do. Check out the blog. I get more specific with it. The reason I wouldn't go back to base is if we're racing in 8 weeks, you already have your aerobic foundation. You've already trained all of that. You're not going to make more gains in the next 8 weeks that will really help your 2020 season. Whereas when we're talking, say you're going through FTP development right now and you stop that. So you've worked up to wherever you're at. If you stop it for the next 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to have to restart that over again. Whereas say you've built up to 3x20 threshold or 2x20 threshold or 60 minutes of threshold, wherever you're at, you could now graduate to threshold bursts, then take a rest week and then do another block and then a rest week, and we're racing again. If you've been doing VO2 max, whether it's max watts or repeatability, look at where you are now and grow on that. It's really only 6 weeks of training with 2 rest weeks in there. So to revert back to base, you're losing a good chunk of VO2 max adaptation in 10 to 14 days. To take 6 weeks off, it really doesn't make sense now because there's not much gain to be made there. Now you want to go have fun and be riding your bike. And if you're worried that you're seeing some events already now, Gravel Nationals and like Epic 150 for me, 2 big races, are moved to July and October. And you're thinking to yourself, man, how am I going to race in October? With this break and just testing, and you're going to mentally be hungry to race later in the season than normal, and also plan to take a week off in August or September. There's going to be a lull and all these new rescheduled events will be there. That's exactly what I did to train for Tour of Southland that was in November. I was really worried about that, and just taking the proper rest throughout the summer. Don't race and ride hard every week. Take those rest weeks. You'll be mentally fresh, physically ready to crush. So, end of the day, train through the coronavirus as you can safely. If you're stuck inside, get on Zwift, do high intensity, shorten the durations. And I also wouldn't just go, some people said, hey, should we test just riding a ton and like general overload? How high can I drive my CTL? I wouldn't do that because you have a risk of cratering yourself just by going out and riding 20 to 25, 30 hours a week if that's the time that you have to do it and you're not even used to doing it. Also, it'll probably just leave you super flat. Remember, driving CTL high does not mean you're ready to race. That's one metric and definitely not the whole ball game. So I wouldn't experiment with that. So race sim or train the physiological systems you've been training for the races do not go back to base and do not just ride a ton to see what happens. If you have questions, email me, Brendan at Evoke Bike. Check out the blogs. Thanks for supporting us on YouTube and the podcast. And let us know how we can help you. We want to make you faster. I'm going to be my fastest at 40. And wherever you are in your time span, we're always going to be faster now. So let's make that happen together. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. See you guys.